2024, man, it's been a wild ride so far, and we're only, what, 15, 16 days in? It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Been very active in real life, not so active on stream, unfortunately. It's a trade off of the streaming life. I don't know how some of these people do it. Some of these, well, they do it by being single mostly. Um, some of these people stream like 15 hours a day, right? And that's the advantage of like being single and having that as your kind of primary job, is you get to really capitalize on being available a lot. And they do it all the time. It's crazy to see how many hours some of these people are streaming, and props to them. There's no way in my life I could do that. It's it's just, for me, like there are times when I can clear a schedule and really work on something if it looks like it's going to be very fun or very beneficial, or people are really going to like it. Obviously certain trial streams meet that criteria. Most trial streams don't. And that makes people kind of annoyed or upset. And like, I get it, but if I'm gonna carve out 8 to 10 hours extra out of a day for several weeks at a time, like, it has to be very worth it to do so. It's just too much time. But you did that for yeah, I know I did that for months, but there are people who do it for years, and I don't know how they do, because those months, I can't really easily express the stress it puts on a family of 7 to do that for months. People can kind of infer. I mean, if you just think about working, 16 to 17-hour days every, 5 days a week, and then working some on weekends, because there's just so many people and there's so much to talk about. It's hard to figure that into like real life. You have to either suspend real life for a while, or you have to just like have your primary life be the thing that you're doing. I can't do that. Other people who can, I give them props and hats off to them. But I can do it for stretches at a time. But even those stretches are very straining. You just don't see your family very much, because you gotta sneak in and get some sleep when you can, and that's pretty much just between streams. During the DEP trial, it was literally stream, sleep for a couple hours, grab food, stream again, and it's yeah, it's wild. Yes, Larry Correa. I do need to get some more guests back going. My schedule is starting to normalize. I can't make any promises on it being normal yet, because things keep coming up, but it's starting to normalize. There are a couple of events coming up where I might be gone for a day or more at a time. Coming up the first weekend in Florida, I may be gone for part of that. I don't know. And then there's like it's like a big chunk of time near the end of Florida where I may not be around as much. I'll have to see, though. I'm not sure if I can. Both of them are trips that I would really, really like to do, and I don't know if I can. That's the hard thing, because I would really like to do them. But they would, obviously they would impact streaming. Did you really just complain about sitting on your ass in your basement for 17 hours a day for 7 weeks? Yeah, I did. It strains, like any job, 17 hours a day with a family of 7 is, that's pretty stressful on the family, is what I said. But, whatever. You can, people always take this, when streamers or whoever talk about like the stress that they go through, they're like, wow, you're not like a deep sea oil rig repair person. It's like, well, no, it's not like you're going to drown or your tank's going to burst or whatever, but it is very, very stressful at times. And it's different stress. Doesn't mean it's like the most stressful thing in the world, and it doesn't mean it's not worth it. It's just, it is stressful. And again, if you haven't done it, you can't really identify with the stressors. And like, you can try and explain them, but it just doesn't translate well. So I don't like talking about it. It's not like a huge burden, right? I choose to engage it's great, but it is weird. The things that you encounter that you don't expect and can't really prepare for. There's just so much, because it's all organic, and the stuff you think you know about content creation and shit like that changes as the years go on. That's the weird part of it, is like, if you know stressors today, they'll be different in 2 or 3 years. Platforms, you're at the mercy of platforms, really. When my channel was deleted from YouTube, like, all I could think of was, well, and there goes the job, there goes the income, because the super chats don't translate to Rumble. They just don't. They don't work the same as, especially back then. They don't work the same. Now I'll sometimes have Rumble shows that have more super chats than the YouTube portions, but the Rumble runs longer. So it's just a weird dynamic where you're at the mercy of a brigade of troons, effectively. And like, what do you do about that? And then you have other stressors where, there's always people commenting about your life from the moment anybody knows who you are. And for some people that can be a big problem. For other people, it's not that big of a problem, but it's all different because you don't really get the same impact of it. And the social media aspect of it. And then of course the size of the audience. It's really interesting the first time you get like 100 or 200 people hating on you. You're like, wow, that's a lot. Some people don't deal with that very well. But it's just interesting. This world we live in is weird. I mean, 2024, of course, is shaping up to also be the year of Trump.